So, at the moment of this recording, Faction Rally is going on, and I'm pretty sure a lot of you are grinding to rank 50 for whatever faction to get whatever catalyst. And basically, there's a lot of different opinions of Faction Rally at the moment that people are having, and I decided to do a video to share my own. Now, I want to talk about the things I like about Faction Rally, what I don't like about Faction Rally, and talk about what they could improve on going forward. Some of these, I feel like they won't be able to do until Forsaken, but some of these, I feel like they could do before then, to make the grind a little bit less tedious in certain ways. But either way, I just wanted to share my thoughts on Faction Rally. So if you have your own thoughts on Faction Rally, leave it in the comments down below, and I'll do my best to look at what your opinions are and actually respond to them. So, Faction Rally, I've obviously was a part of the last one, and I was Dead Orbit. I wanted to get the catalyst for Graviton Lands, when personally, at first, I really wanted to do Sunshot, but I just wanted to do Dead Orbit because I like Dead Orbit, so I was like, I'll do this first, and I'll do the other ones later. But the thing is I noticed a lot of negatives in certain ways of the grind rather than just positives. Now, I want to first talk about the positives. One thing is I really do like is it Renown or Renown? I'm going to say Renown. Renown or Renown, I don't care. Basically, that Renown system is really interesting, and it makes Patrol a lot more of like feeling like an endgame activity rather than just you roam around, you loot lost sectors, and you get tokens. I did notice that they basically force you to now do this Renown system to actually get tokens in lost sectors, which I feel like was a smart idea to ensure that people were not just doing the farm strat for tokens, which I'm not going to lie, I did that myself, and I did really like that grind, but at the same time, you know, you want your players to actually experience a Faction Rally in many different ways than just one. But I know that there is a lot of ways of grinding for the faction tokens at the moment, but you basically have to do the Renown system to get any. Now, I do like that, but I'm not saying I like it entirely. I find one thing to be annoying for me at the moment, but I know this is to be expected for like a grindy game. Especially when they are probably trying to promote you to start grinding for these factions like within the season, like the 3 times. So like they don't expect you to get to rank 50 for each faction each week. I don't think that was what they were expecting, but people want to do that because you want everything. You want to try and get everything. But I do like the grind for ornaments. I've liked that with Iron Banner, and I liked it with a lot of these different like vendors and such. But with Faction Rally this time, it's a lot more annoying than it is good. For starters, I do like the Renown thing where if you have a full set of that armor for that faction, you'll get more Renown. When you do patrol beacons or public events, and I feel like that makes the grind a lot better. And thing that sucks about that, especially for me who switches faction each new Faction Rally, I am finding it very ridiculous on trying to get the full armor set. I really feel like they should be selling that armor, or after a certain rank you get like this or that or what, I don't know. Cause I mean, I'm fighting to try and get like gauntlets, and I'm getting everything but the gauntlets. And what makes me more annoyed is that there is a loot pool of non-faction gear inside the engrams for the faction. It's making it harder for me to try and get the gear that I actually want, because when I get the full set, it makes a little bit of the grind less annoying for Renown, because you only get one Renown token thingy, whatever you want to call it, per patrol beacon, but if you have a full set, you get 2, and that is great in my books, because then you could do a public event and do 1 patrol beacon, and boom, you're going to a lost sector. So Yeah, it's a really annoying process, but what's even more annoying is a lot of these ornaments require you to have the full set armor on you. And, I was part of certain factions during the past seasons, but I never kept the full armor set because I was like, you gross, it doesn't look that interesting. Now I regret that because I wish I kept the full set if I knew that it was going to cater to the ornament system and also the renown system. Whoops. And not only that, these ornaments are sometimes catered to each individual class. So there's one for the hunter and the warlock and the titan. So even though you do all for the helmet, gauntlets, chest piece, everything for your hunter for future war cult, if you were to do all the ornament challenges, the warlock is not done because that one is separate. Some of them, I think, or all of them, I don't know. And that's ridiculous. That's a grind on top of a grind on top of a grind because we're grinding the faction tokens. Now we're grinding to get the full armor set, and then we're grinding the challenges per character. It's just yay. But not because I'm at rank 15 and I am still trying to get a full set for my hunter. I doubt I'm going to get a full set for my warlock and my titan, at least in time to do the challenges and get them done before the faction's done. But I did hear that obviously you can do some of the challenges after the faction. I think it works, but not the renown ones. That one, no. That one you have to wait till faction rally. But, again, I would need the full armor set, and I don't for each character, and I probably won't get them by the end of the faction rally. And I just want to say that, the grinding for something is not my main complaint. It isn't. I'm grinding on PS4 and Xbox, and I got to rank 50 for Dead Orbit on Xbox and PS4. You want to know how many tokens that is? 2,000. Yeah. But I'm going to say this, that Bungie definitely needs to fix upon the amount of tokens that you get for certain activities that do take a little bit longer. So when I do the renown system in Patrol and I do Lost Sectors, I'm getting at least, I would say, around 20 tokens within, 10, 20 minutes. And that is if, I'm doing the public events, getting a patrol beacon, and I have the full armor set, and I go down into the Lost Sector, and I loot the thing. That's a lot of tokens for, 10 minutes or whatever. But heroic strikes take a decent amount of time, and in the end, you only get, 7 tokens or 8 if you have one of those chance more faction tokens, Goshells. Which they might as well just say, chance of one more token. And I feel like that kind of ruins the need to do other activities. I really want Faction Rally to feel like everything is involved. I do like Patrol being more involved with the renown, but they should have done something interesting for Crucible and strikes, for heroic strikes. And even the raid. Just something for the faction rally. At least for now, what they could do just to make the grind easier for the next faction rally before Forsaken. Just give us more tokens when completing heroic strikes, doing raid checkpoints, doing crucible matches. Because right now, the best way to do any faction grind is doing Lost Sectors. And that's why a lot of people are getting bored and just burned out, because they're doing this renown thing over and over and over and over and over and not touching anything else because there's no reason to. And even though there's milestones that they would like to get done, they want to get to rank 50. So I would like them to have, at least before Forsaken, have them allow us to get more tokens when completing these activities. But I don't know if they'll do that because, Bungie, they're like, everything, we hear your feedback on the grind for Faction Rally. We hear it, but we will take 7 months. Cool things that I could say than just buffing the faction token drops is like, which they could do for Forsaken, is add some kind of like they did with the Renown, something specific for other activities. Now obviously they can't really do Renown for Crucible, where like the only way they heal is from, killing enemies or something. I mean, they can do something crazy, but they can have like a weekly playlist for Faction Rally that is catered to just factions. Maybe multi-team or something where there's 3 teams. I know the spawns probably won't work for that. So maybe like where it's Team Slayer, well, in Clash, and if you're like with Dead Orbit, it will pair you up with people who are also Dead Orbit, and then the enemy team would be like Future War Cult or New Monarchy. It would always be like whatever, random. I feel like that would be pretty cool. At the same time, I understand that would take a lot of coding and stuff, but to ensure that obviously if you would have to ensure that you're with people that are in Dead Orbit, or and going against people who are not. And not only that, you would be restricted from your friends. So I do want a faction war like playlist, but I understand that it would not really work that way. I mean, they could figure out some kind of cool thing to do for Crucible. I just don't personally know what they could do. I mean, I've always thought that they could do like bring for Faction Rally Big Team Battle back, which was in Destiny 1. Like have like maybe 2-3 maps that are big, that are like revolving around like one looks kind of like a Dead Orbit area or Future War Call or New Monarchy or whatever, and it's just big team battle. It's 8v8, and just have that for a weekly playlist for Faction Rally, and you get more tokens when you win, but you get them either way even if you lose. There's challenges they can do as well, like 3 of them, and they will give you faction tokens as well. When you do all 3, you can go to your faction leader and basically get more tokens, kind of like with Iron Banner. Then for strikes, they could have something cool in there, like with a renown system where basically maybe when you complete a heroic strike, like that Vanguard streak that they had back in D1, they can have a faction streak. The more that you stay inside the strike playlist and not back out, the more faction tokens you get. I don't know. They could literally do many different things. I can't really think of a lot of these cool ideas that would be possible, and give it towards them to maybe think about. But it's just Faction Rally I do enjoy, but I want it to be more of like feeling like more of a celebration, and making it feel like it's like more like the stakes are high to get your faction to win. Because when you are doing the Faction Rally, you're kind of just like, I'm doing my own thing, oh, there's a New Monarchy person, whatever. But when they put like banners and stuff right in front of you in Crucible maps, inside of, and then like when you're doing strikes, having something with that or whatever, I don't know. I feel like it would make it more interesting. And with Patrol, I'm going to say this. The enemy supply thing is annoying, and you need to change it. Sitting on a platform and waiting to get 1 token and then doing all of them to get 4 is not really my idea of a fun, interesting thing for Faction Rally. They definitely can still have that there, but I feel like it would be a lot cooler if there would be just not like a public event, but like a random boss would spawn in or something, or like near a lot of enemy supplies. So like you have to take out the boss or whatever, like just like its own public event-esque kind of thing for just Faction Rally. I feel like they need to do something interesting than just, oh, enemy supplies. Would you like to do this? I mean, it's harder by yourself, but clearly everyone else doesn't want to do this, as you can see them doing their own stuff, doing public events and patrol beacons. They're just like, I don't want to do this. So I am going to say, though, I do agree that not everyone is going to get everything. So you have to grind. But I understand that when you are forced to do a tedious grind and it doesn't really feel fun, that's definitely a different story. That's why, like, if people are telling you that I like this grind and screw you if you want to try and get rank 50, I don't have a job and I can do faction rally all the time. You person with family, screw you. Even though you can actually spare 2 hours of Destiny 2 every single day, screw you. You won't get to rank 50 this week, and you'll have to be that faction again next week, and making the fun not be there because you would get to rank 50 maybe after 10 more rank ups, and then you're done. Yay, fun. So I don't believe in that. I believe in there should be an equilibrium where, yes, you're rewarded and the grind is hard, but it should be based around that you're doing the game. You're actually playing it and doing hard activities or not, just playing it. And the more you play, the more out of your grind will be. Some people might get it done early than others if they make it easier for certain tokens to drop from certain activities, but who gives a shit? Because the person that's spending 2 hours a day for the week of Faction Rally, they'll at least get it done too, but it will take them a lot longer. Like, this game should not just cater to an MMO-esque kind of thing where there is going to be things that no one will ever get, ever. Because then you're making it very hard for other players to enjoy the game. I mean, I've always said that I wanted random rolls to come back, but there needs to be a way where someone could just be like, I'm sick and tired of getting the non-God roll Izaluna that I want, so I am going to go do this other activity and grind this certain material to then infuse these perks into the weapon itself. It might take me longer, and I would be using this material just for one gun rather than just keep playing RNG for random rolls. But just different ways than making it just like you have to play RNG and you also have to sit there for weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks. There needs to be excitement, though. There really does need to be excitement to the stuff that you get. And Faction Rally is getting close. I do like those exotic ornaments, but we need more of stuff, like more emotes. I heard in the database there are emotes, but we need like exotic emotes as well. For the factions, we need interesting cosmetics. The Goshells. Let's just talk about that real quick. The Goshells are stupid. They just are like, this is a ghost shell with a dead orbit symbol or a future war cult or new monarchy with random perks. They should have an exotic ghost shell per faction that makes it easier on the grind for tokens. Like, and it basically says, like, during the faction rally, if you are blah 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 this faction, if you get a dead orbit ghost shell, for example, it'll be just for dead orbit, not future war cult. It'll say, like, when you're looting at maybe EDZ or something, you get more faction tokens, and then you get more faction tokens and strikes, like, making it easy. Not just one extra token, let's just get that out of the way, but maybe, like, 3 more or 4. And maybe, like, even, like, every time you rank up that faction, you have a chance of an exotic dropping, like 50% or something like that. I don't know. But, or 25%. Maybe 10, because I feel like that would be way too easy trying to get an exotic farming, faction rank ups. But, and then obviously have the ships and Sparrows have exotic versions as well that look actually cool. Yeah, Bungie, let's go there. The designs for your ships and Sparrows are very basic bitchy. I really don't like them. They're very, very boring in design, and me no likey. So, yeah, and have some transmat effects as well. We have shaders. What about transmat effects? Remember when you would wear that exotic cloak for Dead Orbit, and every time you would wear it and you spawn in, you would have this Dead Orbit, like, darkness thing go around you when you spawn in? Like, that was the first time we actually had transmat effects in D1. So for D2, why not have that for a thing? Like, transmat effects to grind for as well, like cosmetic things to get. More stuff. Because when you add more stuff, people get more invested. More things to do, more things to grind for, better. These are things I hope that they will probably implement for Forsaken. I know it won't be any time beforehand, but I know that these wishes are kind of like, whoa, that's a lot of stuff. But at the same time, like, do you disagree with me that Faction Rally needs to be better? I don't know. The phone is ringing. Don't worry about it. But the Faction Rally, I feel like it could be better. And I hope it does get better. I hope that in the end, it won't be just like do lost sectors. And that's like the best way to farm tokens, because I don't believe that that's a good way to make Faction Rally what it is. Like, it shouldn't be just one activity. Like, Iron Banner, yes, is just Iron Banner. You do Crucible. They could find ways to have something interesting outside of the Crucible for Iron Banner to spice things up. But I don't know. That's just my opinion. I know that I was talking for a long time, but I had a lot of stuff to say. If you have your own opinions that you agree with me or you don't, I want to know in the comments down below. But either way, whatever faction you're joining, I hope you win. Whether it be the edgy Dead Orbit people, the future war clowns, or that other guy in the corner that cries and wishes that he was important, but no one likes him because he's just in the corner, enjoying his gold and riches and stuff. And I do like New Monarchy, but he's in a corner by himself, and that's what he does. And no one wants a sweet business catalyst. I'm kidding. But thank you so much. Chibi out.